Welcome to Orem Aesthetics, where timeless English country decor comes to life. Today, we'll journey through a spring-inspired home filled with repurposed vintage treasures. If you love romantic interiors and cozy charm, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more beautiful inspiration every single week. The cottage exterior is dressed in spring's finest, soft wisteria cascades along the porch, daffodils sway near a picket fence, and vintage ironwork whispers of forgotten days. The mint green door welcomes visitors with a floral wreath, inviting them into a timeless English dream. Sunlight kisses each charming detail. Inside the entryway, pastel wallpaper with delicate blooms creates a serene first impression. A vintage bench softened by a gingham cushion rests beneath antique hooks. An umbrella leans gently against the wall, and soft light glows through lace curtains. The scent of lavender lingers in the warm air. In the sitting room, the atmosphere is tender and romantic. Floral upholstery, vintage books wrapped in ribbon, and lace-trimmed cushions evoke a storybook charm. A faded fireplace cradles flickering candles, and light dances on a porcelain vase of tulips. Everything whispers comfort, nostalgia, and slow, beautiful living. The kitchen gleams in spring tones, whitewashed cabinets display floral china, and a pine table hosts scones on a lace runner. Mismatched pastel chairs encircle the space, Jars of jam glisten beside a vintage scale, and herbs hang to dry above a sink framed with floral print curtains. A soft blush dining room sets the scene for elegant simplicity. China adorned with roses sits beside antique flatware. Taper candles flicker among glass cloches filled with pastries. Wildflowers spill from a pitcher, and vintage sketches peek from walls in a delicate balance of beauty and functionality. Sunlight pours into the garden room, where ivy tumbles from painted planters and floral cushions soften the rattan chairs. A vintage sewing table, now a tea station, stands ready. Bird cages hang from the beams. The scent of fresh blooms and mossy wood infuse the space with peace. In a quiet hallway nook, a powder blue writing desk rests beneath framed postcards. A jar of lavender and stack of stationery tell stories of slow afternoons. A floral cushion perches on a tiny stool, while a lace runner softens the light from an antique lamp. A soft, serene guest room glows in lavender hues. Ruffles cascade from Laura Ashley bedding, while vintage nightstands hold crystal vases and worn novels. A repurposed ladder leans as a blanket rack. Gentle breezes move the curtains and everything feels restful, like a place where time stands still. Nestled in a corner, a reading nook calls to be used. A floral armchair, aged bookshelf, and teacup of chamomile suggest comfort. The scent of dried lavender wafts from a basket. A handmade quilt and pastel curtains complete the space, warmed by sunlight and soft imagination. In the bathroom, spring elegance reigns. A clawfoot tub stands behind floral curtains, and antique apothecary jars hold bath salts. A repurposed stool cradles fresh towels, and a lace curtain flutters gently in the breeze. Rose-tinted tiles reflect soft light. Every element breathes calm, comfort, and renewal. A cozy sewing corner is tucked under the window. An antique machine waits atop a painted table. Pastel fabric swatches and jars of buttons fill open shelves. A floral apron sways from a peg, while wildflowers in a teacup bloom nearby. Everything glows with creative stillness. The pantry is sweet and nostalgic. Shelves lined with gingham cradle floral tins and glass jars. A vintage spice rack glows with copper warmth. Dried herbs hang from hooks. A lace curtain filters the light, and pastel walls soothe with every detail of countryside tradition and simplicity. The laundry room blooms with charm. A farmhouse sink peeks from beneath a floral skirt. Wicker baskets, vintage enamel tins, and a drying rack overhead speak of quiet routines. Lavender sachets rest on folded towels. Each surface radiates gentle color, embodying the comfort of English spring days. Down the hall, a gallery of floral paintings lines soft pink walls. A distressed rug and a pale green dresser add subtle vintage elegance. Wild daisies and ribbons sit atop old hat boxes. Brass sconces flicker warm light, illuminating every detail of this lovingly curated spring space. In a craft room warmed by morning sun, creativity thrives. A whitewash desk is surrounded by open shelves and vintage storage crates. Ribbon, lace, and buttons spill from old tins. Blooming narcissus add joy. Floral curtains frame the window. This space is where imagination gently blossoms. The breakfast nook is drenched in light. A floral tablecloth covers the repurposed table. China and a porcelain teapot wait for morning rituals. Daffodils smile from a vase. An old radio hums softly by the window. Every corner feels like the warm embrace of countryside living. The conservatory, framed in wood and glass, is a sanctuary of spring. Ivy curls around beams, birdhouses sway gently, and vintage watering cans hold blooms. A floral bench offers rest beneath trailing vines. It is a quiet haven where nature and nostalgia hold hands. Outside, a garden pathway winds between forget-me-nots and bluebells. Vintage planters overflow with roses, and lace bunting flutters above. Iron chairs with floral cushions sit beneath a flowering arch. The air smells of earth and sweet blooms, an invitation to pause and simply be. In the backyard, a vintage table awaits tea under a pergola of blossoms. Pastel linens, mismatched china, and flickering lanterns transform the space. A gentle breeze stirs peony petals. Crickets begin to sing. This outdoor retreat feels both whimsical and grounded in old-world grace. Back at the front porch, hydrangeas bloom in copper pots beside a rocking chair. A stack of books rests quietly. A floral doormat welcomes you home. Lace curtains flutter, and a wreath of lavender swings gently on the door. Evening light warms every weathered detail. Thank you for joining us on this peaceful spring tour through vintage elegance. We hope it brought warmth and inspiration to your day. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment with your favorite detail, and subscribe for more charming English country decor right here on Orem Aesthetics.